They found me dead in my own blood. My family cried heavily at my funeral, but they are the ones who caused my death. Why didn't they do anything to prevent it from happening? Instead of making things better, they only made it worse. Do I feel guilty about it? No, because I believe I am finally in peace. When I got to the afterlife, I was welcomed by two shadows, one red and one purple. The red one asked me to check my pockets. I checked all of them and found two keys. One key was red and one was purple, like the shadows in front of me. The purple one says to me, "You have two keys in this world, which is not very common. You must be special here. Most only arrive with one." The red one says to me, "You get to pick who you want to follow into the afterlife." I was thinking about it for a while, and they told me, "We can show you the way we travel, and you get to pick whomever you want." I told them both to show me their way into the afterlife. But I wanted to follow the red one first, so I followed the red one first. The red shadow took me to a red door and then pushed me through it. I fell on my face into dirt and leaves. I stood up and looked around to see the red shadow, but it was nowhere to be found. I brushed myself off and started walking through a forest. It felt like forever walking through it, but I eventually got out of it. The air in this place is different from what I am used to. I passed out once I made it out of the forest. When I woke up, I found myself in a building. It seems I was taken inside of someone's house. It does seem to be a large place, but I do not see anyone or anything just yet. So, how did I get here? Who or what got me here? I better look around, but better be careful doing it. I look around, and I found a note. The note reads, "This place could be your new home. It is the finest of the land, but it will not only be yours. A beautiful creature has been living here since she arrived. You should get along with her." I put down the note, and I hear something break down the hallway. I walk towards the sound of whatever broke. I open the door, and I see a beautiful creature. It is a beautiful woman with cat-like features. She looks at me and says, "I'm sorry about the noise." I tell her not to worry about it. "Let me help you pick up the mess." I go to help her out, and I see some blood on the floor. I look at her and see a cut on her left shoulder. What fell was a coffee mug. It fell from a high cabinet. There is a piece of the mug in her shoulder. I tell her and point to it. She says, "Oh my." I ask her, "Do you mind if I pull it out for you?" "I will be gentle." She replies, "That would be very much appreciated." I grab the piece of the mug stuck inside of her and gently pull it out. Once I pull it out, I help her stop the bleeding with a napkin. I introduce myself to her. I say to her, "Hi, I'm Elijah." She replies, "Celsia." I reply, "Nice to meet you, Celsia." I look at the cut. It is still bleeding. Luckily, it is not bleeding too much. It does not need my help anymore. I throw out the napkin and see something purple, but I can't tell what it is. I show it to Celsia and ask her, "Do you have any idea what this is?" Celsia replies, "That belongs to the purple shadow. It is a shard from where it is from." I ask her, "Why was it in your garbage?" Before she can reply, the shard lights up, and I am now standing in front of the purple shadow. The purple shadow looks at me and says, "Your death has been affecting those whom were close to you." The purple shadow shows me someone I loved in my past life. It appears my mother has taken her own life as well. The purple shadow says to me, "She just ended her life only a few days after you did. You took your own life, and she could no longer live with the guilt." The purple shadow brings me back to Celsia's house. I return to Celsia's house, and the shard crumbles into nothing. Celsia asks me, "What just happened? Are you okay?" I look at her and say, "My mother is dead." Celsia covers her mouth with both her hands before giving me a hug. She hugs me tightly and starts crying. She says to me, "I am sorry to hear that. I can tell she meant a lot to you." She pulls back a little bit and smiles. She says, "I know how you feel. I lost too many of my family members to them ending their own life, including myself, you see." I ask her, "Why did you do it? You do not seem to be that kind of person." She replies, "I would always go after men like my father. He would hit me until all of his anger was gone. My father had a drinking problem which led to his death. My father died when I was 18 years old. I thought I was free, but I was far from it. Every boyfriend I have ever had would hit me. My last boyfriend was the worst. He hit me one night so bad that I ended up in the hospital and he ended up in jail. The very next night, after I returned home from the hospital, I took my own life. I did it because I could not handle the pain anymore." She hugs me tightly again and says, "Thank you for coming here. I can tell you are a very good person. It feels like forever since I told someone this. It feels nice talking to you. The Red Shadow was right bringing you here first." I ask her, "You know I am going to be leaving." She replies, "The Red Shadow told me you would be coming here, but only for a quick visit. I know you have 2 keys to this place. You will be leaving with the Purple Shadow at some point. They also told me you took your own life. Whatever you choose, I want you to choose whatever makes you happy." I get taken away again. I end up in my room, but it looks different. The walls are clawed up and aged dramatically. I walk up to the area of my room where I took my own life. You can see where the blood was. I look over at my door, and it has a red marking on it. I push open the door and see a blood trail into darkness. I ask myself what happened here. The Purple Shadow appears and says, "This is where your brother passed away. He picked up a horrible drinking habit after the loss of your mother. He could not hold a job because his addiction was so bad. He fell down these stairs, cracked open his head, and broke his neck from the fall. He fell down these stairs because he had too much to drink." I start to cry. The Purple Shadow looks at me and says, "This is the first time I have seen you crying." I reply, "This is not like my brother." It replies, "The loss of your life has done a lot of damage to the people who really do love you. You have felt loneliness all your life, but you never saw that you were never alone. A lot of people love and care for you, and they still do. Most cannot understand why you did this. They think or thought it was their fault, but it was not. There was just too much pain for you to bear anyway. There was just too much pain for you to bear anymore. You felt as if the people around you only made things worse, but they wanted the best for you." I could not say a single word. I walk back into my room, and I look where I took my life. I look at where the blood was, and begin to go back to when it happened. I took my knife and looked at it for a minute. My mind was racing. With not so pleasant thoughts. I put the knife up to my wrist, and I hear a voice. The voice overcame the others. It says to me, "What are you doing? Stop it. Don't do it." The next thing you know, I slit both of my wrists. I was bleeding, but not fast enough. I took my knife and I slit my throat. After I dropped the knife and collapsed, my family did not find me until it was far too late. It was hours since my passing when they found me. I stopped thinking about that day and asked the Purple Shadow, "Why did you bring me here?" It appears behind me and says, "Because I wanted you to think about what you did. I wanted you to see the tragedy of your passing." It teleports me away into darkness. I look around me and see nothing but blackness. I can't even feel the shadow's presence. I feel alone again. I go into my pockets and I pull out both keys, but they look totally different. They both look like the same key, but they are red and purple, but have very small differences from each other. I say to myself, I must choose wherever I want to be forever. Celsia is a beautiful and kind woman. I would not mind getting to know her better, but I am also afraid. I have been hurt and fooled badly by many people, especially women, much like her. Yet, I believe the place I do belong is the place where I took my own life and caused others to do the same. Yes, that is where I belong. Yes, that is where I belong. So bring me back to where I belong. I peer back into my room, but it is not the room the purple shadow showed me. In fact, I am not even dead just yet. I am still alive. I am holding the knife that ended me. My mind is going as fast as it possibly can, but I just can't do it. I put down the knife and I act like nothing was about to happen. I make my way to my bed and lay down. My mind begins to slow down and eventually calms down. It is the best feeling in the world to have such a peaceful mind. I begin to smile and cry out of relief. I am still alive, and very much so breathing.